Welcome back to the 0 for 82 podcast. My name is Treeman.
And you got Elkman here.
Yes, we are finally back after a hiatus. We were in hiding. At least I was in hiding. I'm not sure what you were doing, but we have returned. To start off with, we are going to do just a quick little recap of the NBA postseason, some thoughts of that, and then some fan mail. But Elkman, what were I guess a quick little recap of the postseason, maybe some things that stood out to you from that we should keep in mind for next.
Yes. Well, to me, we had one of the best playoff series that I have seen in the past decade of the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. Mm-hmm. What do you say that was one of the best ones recently?
Yeah, I would say that the game, was it game 2 where the Timberwolves locked them down?
Yes.
Game 2 was one of the most satisfying games I've ever seen. Because there's not many games where you just see and feel how in despair the crowd is.
Yeah.
Because they were just saying, I can't believe it. We're the reigning champs. We're going down 2-0. These guys are bullying us. I mean, they were just playing solid defense. And that was just one of the greatest things. I just loved seeing how angry they were that people were playing defense. Because that's when I play basketball, that's how I play defense, and there's nothing wrong with that.
The fans were angry, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was game 2 where Jamal Murray threw not one but two things onto the court as he was so angry that he was getting whooped by the Timberwolves, getting whooped by Rudy and Anthony Edwards. Yeah, I think a lot of people have, even by the end of the playoffs, had kind of forgotten that he threw stuff onto the court and nothing happened. Mm-hmm. That was just insane, but the breakdown of the series was Timberwolves 1-2 in Denver, and then they lost the next 3, and everyone's like, oh yeah, it was just the Timberwolves got lucky, they won the first 2, and then the Timberwolves came back, won the last 2, games 6 and 7, and grinded an insane amount on that. Those games were chippy rather, to say the least. And that was one of my favorite series of all time. It does seem like it kind of led to them being gassed out for the next round, unfortunately.
It definitely was. But
what can you do?
Yeah, I will say that having Rudy and Mike Conley and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and is Joe Ingles there now? I think he is.
He is, correct.
They're basically like the Jazz light, so they're definitely the team I'm rooting for. So I have much more of an emotional connection to them, because Rudy keeps getting slandered everywhere.
Anthony Edwards over Donovan Mitchell, easy.
And Devin Booker.
Yes. Yeah. Let's just keep it straight here. We keep it real on the 0 for 82. You know how we do. So yeah, that was potentially the best series of the whole playoffs. And then you got on the East Coast, Elkman and Treeman. We like to rep Jalen Brunson. Mm-hmm. He also keeps it real. He keeps it by the code of 0 for 82. And that series against the Sixers, it was great to see that team, put the Sixers in their place. It's kind of more satisfying when you deal with a team that you don't like that much. And then, of course, you win.
You play against a team that flops with, Joel Embiid against a real team who doesn't flop, who they earn everything they get with the Knicks. And it was just incredible to watch. I'm very excited for this upcoming year, but injuries caught up with them. Tom Thibodeau just ran them all into the ground. Yep. I was also unlucky a little bit, just little injuries that just happen no matter what you do. Like OG Anunoby's, I think it was his hamstring or something.
And just a reminder for all the listeners that it came down to a 6-person rotation in the playoffs. They had numerous people playing over 47 minutes a game.
Yeah.
And I think that people have just forgotten a little bit of the storylines that happened in the playoffs. So we're just trying to keep the 2 million listeners now. Trying to keep everyone updated on remembering what happened and where the NBA is at.
Yeah, but the Knicks, we'll talk about them more in the for the upcoming season. But lastly, the NBA Finals series I wanted the least was Mavericks Celtics.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we got. And against all odds, Luka Doncic and the Mavericks made me root for the Celtics. I couldn't believe it.
It was a finals of confusion and just not too much interest. It was a little bit of a meh finals.
It was kind of a snooze fest. I will say Jaylen Brown winning was pretty cool. I do like Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum, I don't like at all. Mm-hmm. But Jaylen Brown, he's a cool guy. It's cool seeing him sign the biggest contract in NBA history and then win Finals MVP. he basically shut up all of his haters. So that was incredible to watch.
I do not have anything bad to say about Jaylen Brown either. You know, he balled out and he did earn that without a doubt.
Yeah, I do have everything bad to say about Luka Doncic though. I cannot stand the guy.
And then next in line, Tatum maybe.
Tatum's more of a meme hate. Like, he doesn't do anything bad. It's the Kobe photo shoot. Like,
sure.
I just clown. It's fun and funny to clown on him, and it's also deserved. But Luka though, he just cusses. Like, he literally does all the wrong plays and cusses out his teammates. He takes no accountability for his actions. That is why I've caught a lot of flack on Reddit for this. I say that because he is not a good leader, that this is the furthest the Mavericks will ever make the playoffs with him as the lead dog. He does not have that dog in him.
I have not seen your posts on Reddit, but that seems like a great point to me. You know, we've seen time and time again where a bad leader will sink the ship. So
absolutely.
we'll see what's coming up in the future with the restructured Mavericks.
I know. I mean, I just remember. I can't remember the exact play, but there was one play where he did something wrong, turned it over, and he just told his coach, "You better effing challenge the call."
Yeah.
But it was very clearly not something they would win. So I don't know. It wasn't a very exciting finals because I don't care for either team. But the fact that Luka Doncic got embarrassed so thoroughly does bring joy to my heart. So hopefully we see that more this season. But I think it's about it for the postseason. It was really good. A lot of injuries, but hopefully with teams revamping, we'll get less injuries this next postseason. But I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
We have our voice. Sorry if you've called and our voice mailbox has been full. We have an insane amount of listener mail that we've been trying to sift through, but we have a couple of them here.
Yeah, we only go into a few of, I think it was 2,500 voicemails we got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was the
most of them from angry Celtics fans and Mavericks fans,
but yeah, no one's got time for them. No one's got time for them or their team.
Mm-mm. We are going to listen to, is this Belated that we're listening to first?
No. We are going to save Mr. Belated that has been flooding our inbox. We're going to save him for last because we're going to have a run of a couple from him. First, we're going to start off with listener Ed, and Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Just wanted to get your thoughts on the league playoff format. Do you guys like the play-in game? Do you guys still think the league should do Eastern versus Western Conference? Or should they do away with it and do a 1 through 16 seed? And how would this benefit other teams?
That's actually a really good question. Ed, always coming in with the actual thoughtful questions, which doesn't always happen.
Mental heaters.
However, I actually do have a strong opinion about this. I think it should remain conferences because I want teams to face each other in the playoffs multiple times more often, and that's how you get that. If you do straight 1 through 16, you will not get repeat series against the same teams. You'll have less rivalries, less repeat things, less angry players. There's a lot less drama if you just do flat 1 through 16.
Yeah, that's right. When I heard his question, my first impression was, "Oh, that sounds amazing." Putting them all together, and the play-in is 4 people, and they're being assigned to seeds 1 through 4. But it's exactly what you're saying, regular season bleeding into the playoffs. It happens so frequently, and it's some of the best series that we have. And this would make it so much less likely. So, I'm gonna agree with you on that, Treeman. And with what Ed and Eddie said on, do we like the play-in tournament?
I love it.
There's been some very creative stuff that they've been doing recently. Putting in the in-season tournament, people were mocking it in the first place. Everyone's all down with it now. Mm-hmm. Play-in tournament, you had LeBron mocking it. You had a lot of people thinking it was silly. It doesn't look like it when it's producing a lot of really good games.
Yeah.
And it's
producing really good teams. Because teams are in the regular season pushing for those spots, you're getting a much more competitive 7 and 8 seeds than you normally get. The Sixers were really, really competitive. The Lakers made the conference finals. The Heat made the finals. Whereas before, those teams just got rolled every single time. I feel like the play-in tournament has elevated them. Instead of just a pool of 2 teams, you get 4 teams. If I had to do one change, I would make it so the 2 teams, they qualify, but the number 1 seed chooses who they want. That's what I would do.
That would be
if
really
I could do
cool.
Any change.
I do like that idea a lot as well. And I think another implication of having the play-in being seeds 7, 8, 9, and 10 is that it puts some fire underneath the teams that are potentially going to be landing in 7 and 8, because before they would be just whatever, we'll be in the playoffs. But now it's like, we don't want to be playing an extra game for no reason. And an actual reason that they would be in there is, they could be tossed out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it puts more of an emphasis to try to get to 6 or 5 or 4.
Yeah. It elevates the regular season and the postseason. So
Yep.
yeah. But to your other question though, Ed, about like how it would impact other teams, I don't know. Travel. A lot of people say that modern travel wouldn't matter too much because of like how fast things are. I still think it does, because you should have seen how ecstatic the Kings and Warriors were when they faced each other, because they were only a bus ride away. And Klay Thompson and Steph were thinking, "Oh, are you serious? We don't have to travel and fly across the country. We get to stay in our same state." So it'll be more travel. I do think it'll mean less happy players and teams, a little bit more fatigue. The competition level will be good, but overall less drama. But
Yeah.
Again, like, it'd probably be good because it would not reward. It's hard because often the Eastern Conference is way weaker than the West. Mm-hmm. And you'd think that would balance it up, but no, the records would still be lopsided because the East teams will get higher seeds because they're in a weaker conference and one against weaker teams. So
Yeah.
I don't think that would fix any balancing either, to be honest.
You would be seeing some very weird situations of the way that playoff series end up. You'd say, is this really the way it would have gone if this team with older people wasn't traveling from New York to LA every single day, for example? You know, yeah, it's a great point. So I think that Mr. Silver, Adam Silver, you got the green light from 0 for 82 on just keep doing what you're doing. And yep, thank you very much, Ed and Eddie. Well, here's our next question from Teeny Killer. Let's see what's up with him.
Yo, Elkman, Treeman, Jazz season's coming up. I was curious what your thoughts on where they'll be. They'll be close to the playoff team, a really crappy team, and hockey's came to Utah, so Ryan and Ashley Smith said that Utah really isn't a small market anymore. And I wonder, does that mean, it kind of changes, even NBA players' thoughts about coming here now? Or is it still Utah, I don't want to come there? Or has it changed a little bit where we're not just a farm team anymore where we can get good players and then give them out later? Your guy, Tiny Killer.
Thank you, Teeny Killer. If I may start with this, Tree Man, let's start with the last point from Teeny Killer. Is the market favorability in the NBA players' eyes, has it changed at all? I will say that this certainly hasn't hurt. No one can argue with that. It is better with, and I think that we will see more product as a result of that. It's a lot of these places just kind of bring, I think that a nightlife and just general entertainment of things that don't really matter that much, but they're just fun for passing time for a sports millionaire 25-year-old. I think that is really what draws it. And so I think if somehow, if Ryan Smith wants to be bringing big names here, invest in the entertainment industry as well. I mean, of course, this is asking a lot. But I'd say it's been helpful. We will get, a better person here and there. Maybe kind of things kind of similar to Bojan Bogdanovic coming here. That was a really impressive signing that kind of came out of nowhere. Things like that are not star players, but really good players that are totally okay with it. And obviously, within the NBA landscape, the Jazz are known as the most classy organization.
The classiest
demographic. Yes. And so that will also continue to drive, the allure of veterans, solid veterans. What do you say, Treeman?
I think I can't say if it's doing anything now, but if you want, because I think Ryan Smith's one of his main objectives is to change the perception of Utah, how people view it, how people want to live here, and I think that's a good step. Adding more entertainment, more business opportunities, just having more like people of importance here, and just having having more sports teams will just add more stuff for players to do and just not feel bored the entire time. So I think it's just overall it's good in general. Like you said, a lot of good points. So
thank you very much. And then for Teeny Killer's first point with the outlook on the Jazz season upcoming. Of course, this is a big topic that people are wanting to hear what the 0 for 82 podcast is talking about this season, because there is so much uncertainty in that, and the Jazz are just the best team in the NBA. Not like with the players on the court, but just how much respect they deserve. And so my opinion of this season going forward, I don't know if you knew this, Tree Man, or any of our listeners, but in John Stockton's third season, no one would have guessed that he was going to be a Hall of Famer. Of course, comparing any of the players on the Jazz to becoming someone of a Hall of Fame caliber is quite a thing, but the Jazz have vocalized numerous times that they are needing to see what they have in the people. It's more vocal than I've seen in a lot of different rebuilds. And so I think that with that, they are going to be giving a lot of slack to these players that to see what they have, because they need to know now what is going on. And alongside that, with playing young players, I do not have a very optimistic perspective of that.
So, what is your prediction? Do you think they're just going to crash out and burn?
I think that, I don't think that they're going to be the worst seed in the West, but I think that they're going to be second or third from the bottom. I think that my prediction would be that they would be kind of playing it super safe with Laurie, and he especially, of course, in the second half of the season, as you see all the time, they're going to be playing him so lightly. And he seems like a person that is understanding of the game plan in the process, and between the Jazz still, if they have a lottery pick this season, they get to keep it. If they do not have a lottery pick, then it's going to the Thunder. That is still a thing. That is still it's decently looming over the team, and the Jazz are trying to get all that they can out of the cards that they've been dealt. So I think that they're going to be playing their young people a lot, and they will not be super good, but it's fun. It's fun to watch young people.
I don't know. Coach Hardy doesn't like to play young players that much. Well, he not better than Jerry Sloan. I'm actually going to make a bold prediction.
Okay.
We'll do a prediction more for another podcast, but I think the Jazz will not only make the playoffs, but they will not even be in the play-in tournament.
Okay.
I'll break it down. I'm looking at the Western Conference teams right now, and I've picked out the teams who I think will be above and beneath them. But that is my prediction. Larry Markkanen's really, really good. A lot of my favorite NBA YouTubers they just love how his shot diet, how he's so efficient, scores so much without dominating the ball like so many other players do. He's like Klay Thompson, but likable. It's crazy.
Yes.
So there's that, and also I think a lot of it's going to come down to Colin Sexton, to be totally honest with you, because he showed us towards the end of the year that he has that drive, he has that desire, he has the skill set to be a really, really good player. But here you have the Jazz's newer, younger point guard. What's his name again?
Isaiah Collier.
No, the guy rookie last year.
Oh, Keontae George.
Yeah, they got keynotes. He is getting a lot of minutes. He got a lot last year. He's going to get more this year. He's pretty good. And he was taking a lot of Colin's minutes, but Colin he showed me a lot of things that I like, and I think it's going to come down to him, whether or not the Jazz embrace the rebuild or whether or not they actually go for it this year, because you can't keep wasting 3 straight years of this caliber of player of Larry Markkinen. So, I don't know. We'll see what the future holds.
Yeah. Listeners, you can look forward to our prediction podcast coming up soon. Alongside what you're saying, Tree Man, the Jazz are on a 3-game win streak in the preseason, so it's starting off pretty decently. We'll see if that continues. Yeah,
I'm more curious if or when the Jazz will ever make a big move with their picks and young players. So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. Danny Ainge, he knows his stuff, so that's we'll leave it there. But this is a very, very good question, Teeny Killer.
Thank you, and we're just gonna stick with 3 listeners today. Our final one, is Belated. And he has sent in 4. He's he's getting belligerent in some of his other messages. So we are kind of
bear in mind, Belated did intentionally draft Josh Giddey in our fantasy league.
Yeah, it's a very questionable character.
He sought him out.
Yeah, we're gonna listen to Belated here and play his messages.
How do we think Josh Giddey's going to do with an older group instead of the young talent that he was dealing with last year?
Is that on the court or off the court? As far as younger talent, I'm hoping you mean on the court younger talent as opposed to off the court. I think it'll be good for him because, like, I know he got wrapped up in that stuff, like, in Oklahoma City. Whether or not it's his fault is, like, up to you, but I don't know, like, actually, not never mind. Chicago's a dumpster fire. He's doomed. I just realized.
Yeah, we understand that Belated, your favorite player in the league, is Josh Giddey for some reason, but it doesn't look too promising over there. You know, he's not as good as Caruso and Zach LaVine. He's got no trade value. I don't think he's too happy with the way that this has all gone through. You know, we'll see what happens with Lonzo though. Yeah. Hopefully he's.
I really hope Lonzo comes back good.
Yeah, very crazy story with him. You know, 3 years now roughly being out.
Yeah, but what about Giddey though? That is the question.
Yes, Josh Giddey. Sure, he'll do all right. You know, he's going to have a focal point. He's going to be running the offense. He's not a bad player, and he's still young.
Yeah, he's not bad. It's just Chicago that's the problem.
Yeah, but we'll give Josh Giddey some slack this season. Mm-hmm. He's just going to be figuring out, and you know, yeah, nothing too much to see there. But Belated, let us know since you'll be tuning in on NBA League Pass each night that he's playing, how he's doing.
Cool.
On to the next one from Mr. Belated.
Is Bronny James going to save the Lakers? Do they have a chance?
No.
All right, on to the next question.
What rookie do you guys think is going to have the biggest impact in the league this year? And do you guys like your rookie?
Filipowski, I like a lot that Filipowski brings to the table. Although, to be honest, I don't know a ton about the rookies. Do you know about the rookies this year? Because I just kept hearing how horrible this draft class is. And I'm not a college basketball guy.
Yeah, so between the Jazz's 3 new rookies, Cody Williams, Isaiah Collier, and Kyle Filipowski, they have some particular things that you can highlight and be hopeful for. For myself, I don't really dig too much into college, and I just like to see how they play on the court. Yeah, it's fun to look back into their past and see what the potential is, but I'll be looking forward to seeing them on the NBA court and how it goes for them. What about you, Treeman?
I mean, if I'm looking at the teams who are at the top. I see the Hawks got the number 1 pick. I would probably say, if I had to guess, the Wizards with Alex Sark, because the Wizards, they let people just chuck shots like crazy.
Yeah.
They have Kyle, the guy from the U of U. What's his last name again?
Kyle Kuzma.
They have Kyle Kuzma. They have Jordan Poole. They have no issue with people just wrecking their offense. So I think they'll have no problem letting Alex just do whatever he wants. So
yeah, sounds awesome.
That'd be my pick. Yeah, be entertaining at the very least.
And Belated, on to your 4th question that we will be answering today here on the 0 for 82 podcast.
Just overall thoughts on the movement in the offseason. Cat to the Knicks, Randall to the Timberwolves, Paul George to the Sixers. How do we feel?
Thank you, Belated. You are much more calm in these questions than all of your other voicemails. We appreciate it. So, Knicks Timberwolves, that's the biggest, move of the offseason, right?
So, me personally, I have very strong feelings about PG-13.
Okay.
Because he's just one of the... He's in that... he's not as bad as Luka, but he's one of those players where, with his mentality, I only think he's going to tank teams' chances to win. So the Sixers will be very fun to watch, and I will enjoy watching them get bounced in the first round again, but I think he's not going to help them in the long run. He's not that clutch, unfortunately. He thinks he's better than he is, and he's going to bring them down. So
it's unfortunate to see an icon like Caleb Martin on the Sixers now. This Sixers team is who's the GM now? Is it Daryl Morey?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's trying to do, but he is grabbing all these unlikable players, and they are all going to just be sitting in a sour huddle together by halfway through the season at the latest. I do not see too much positivity there. It's good people, good player skills, but I do not think that they're going to be able to work too well together.
Yeah. And as for the Knicks Timberwolves, that was real. I love the trade for the Knicks. I hate it because I really wanted to see that team return back with everyone.
Losing Randall and, of course, DiVincenzo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that makes the Knicks a lot better than it makes the Timberwolves better because Julius Randle he's not a good postseason performer. I think teams are better when he is injured and not playing for them, unfortunately, at least in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think that'll hurt the Timberwolves' chances to be successful.
How would the Timberwolves match up with the Nuggets again now?
I don't think they will.
Karl Anthony Towns was super, super good against the Nuggets. And, Julius Randle he's typically a ball-stopping player.
He is.
And he's not someone that could be showing on defense the way that Karl Anthony Towns was able to last season. Mm-hmm. But DiVincenzo, that's a really great addition to their team, without a doubt.
That's a really good. DiVincenzo's really good, but I don't know if the Timberwolves got better.
Sure.
I would have just run it back because they showed they have a good little formula. It's just they got stomped the first couple of games against the Mavericks. So,
and I think that this is a very I think this is the first real situation that we are seeing come as a result of the new collective bargaining agreement. Mm-hmm. As Karl Anthony Towns was going to be adding a lot of money coming up in the next couple of years, and it was going to become a very tough situation for the Timberwolves. People mentioned it here and there a year ago that the Timberwolves are going to have to move off of Rudy Gobert or Karl Anthony Towns. And people just, you just hear it and you're like, yeah, whatever, it's in the future, yada, yada. But here it is. It's happened. And it's unfortunate, without a doubt, that a team like that did so well seemingly has to restructure because of money. It might be a good fit. We shall see. Mm-hmm. And with the Knicks, what do you say, Treeman?
Oh, I think that makes them a Goliath. They have so many incredible players. I feel like Tom Thibodeau's probably going to find a way to still play Josh Hart 48 minutes. But even with multiple injuries, they have so much depth now. It is insane. So
yeah,
I love it for them personally.
I've watched a couple of the preseason games with the Knicks, and there's a nickname for the Anunoby and Mikal Bridges duo. Have you heard it, Treeman?
No.
Wingstop. I
like it.
Yes.
I like it. I love the name, not the place. Although the place is actually decent, but I'm not a wing person. As far as other moves, there weren't a ton of other big moves. I guess the Clippers losing Paul George, they were doomed either way. So
it's a very interesting situation, real quick, with the Clippers. They. It seems like they would have known that Kawhi Leonard had a knee problem, as he was not okay trying to go into the Olympic team before he was excused a week into it. Mm-hmm. And so this move of getting rid of Paul George, if you think of it with the perspective of...
He didn't resign.
Oh, well, but they...
They didn't want to max him, which is the right thing to do.
But, maybe they were seeing that Kawhi Leonard, his knee was hurt, and with that, they were not going to be going all in with getting Paul George as well.
It would have been better to keep Paul George, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He'll at least, be there in the playoffs. He won't play very well, but he'll be there.
It's just such an awkward situation for them with Kawhi Leonard, It is very, very rough.
Yeah, but overall, not too much more movement. It was some blockbuster moves, but nothing too crazy, so, yeah. All right. So now the final point this is very important because we know that Adam Silver does listen. He does message me on Instagram.
Well, Treeman, wasn't it your idea to have the in-season tournament?
It was actually. Yeah. Yeah. It's not my only idea, but I'll take credit for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's during the summer the NBA reached a new agreement, a TV deal with Amazon, with
Disney. Disney, they've already had to do more like ESPN and other streaming services.
Yes. The company that's moved into the scene is Amazon.
NBC.
Oh, NBC.
There it
NBC is in. Amazon is also in for this upcoming season. And TNT is out.
Well, this is their last year.
Yes, yeah. So with the contract. So this will be the last season for inside the NBA. But, you know, the NBA is getting a lot of money coming through it right now. And it's expected that sooner rather than later, you will be seeing total contracts for NBA players that are at $1 billion.
Yeah, I think we'll see that, honestly, within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, for how crazy everything's going, I think that's very doable. And it's not enough.
Exactly.
They're underpaid. They will be underpaid.
Yes. Yes. We are on the same page, Treeman. We are on the correct page. They need more money. Adam Silver needs more money. But how are we going to do that? So, you know, I think that we should continue to provide some more proposals of how we can get the NBA more money.
Yeah, we'll just put this out there because I know in the past they've experimented with sleeved jerseys, nicknames on jerseys. I have 2 ideas.
Okay, bring it.
They need to have a month of just short shorts. Like, we're going like John Stockton short shorts and long sleeve jerseys.
The demographic of viewership would be much greater. You know, there's a lot of people that, you know, I mean, I like some upper thigh, but there's a lot of people that's their main thing, and it would bring them, he would bring them to the table.
I mean, sex sells, of course. Like in the WNBA, like, you literally have, like, players dating each other and marrying each other and like, divorcing each other. In the NBA, like, I don't know if we'll ever get there, but we have to tease just a little bit. Because, like, we know drama. Like, TNT's gone, but, like, that'll be it.
Exactly. So. You know, imagine if it's easy enough to imagine these short shorts. Just stretch your imagination a little bit. Imagine if Adam Silver says, get a little bit of fingers on the thighs of other people. You know, it's just and just kind of just a little memo to everyone. You're doing this for the betterment of your fellow player. And, okay. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And what's an idea from you, Elkman?
One of the greatest TV shows in the United States history is Survivor. So I was thinking we need to do Survivor seasons, that's plural, with NBA players on them. And maybe exclusively NBA player Survivor seasons, all right? So I think that we could do this pretty well, all right? Treeman, we're going to make a team of 6 people for a Survivor tribe. And we'll see what the entire, you know, just imagine these people being put into a photo for advertising a Survivor season. First player on the team, Russell Westbrook.
That's actually a really good pick. That's actually phenomenal. Well, if he's going to be there, I have to choose Kevin Durant.
Oh, okay, yes, I like this.
Yeah, like mainly because like of the synergy, but like there's no other players we can get, of course.
We have talked about this entity before, this player entity, Zion Williamson, a hangry Zion. KD and Westbrook with hangry Zion. This is shaping up mighty right now.
Yeah, and then you do need the guy who looks like he's out of his depth, but actually isn't. So I would put Joe Ingles on the cover. Like, he would actually make the season great, but you would also see all these crazy, like, athletic players and then just, like, a balding uncle.
Yeah.
And he's actually going to be, like, the most dangerous of them all.
Exactly. You know, this is, so far, you know, who is going to come out from this team to be the sole survivor? We do not know. This is very diverse.
We're at 4. We need 1 more each. So if you could have 1 more person, who would you add?
So...
And there's an advertised NBA survivor.
Exactly. Pat Riley.
My gosh.
You always have someone that's a little bit older than the other people. And Pat Riley and the way that he handles things, you know, if you're watching Survivor right now and the way that Rome is threatening people, you be having Pat Riley do that, but he be doing it the real way.
Yeah, that makes me think, because any publicity is good publicity.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Josh Giddey.
I'm glad that there are restraints on going on to Survivor that you have to be an adult.
Yeah, because we can't have too many lawsuits. But no, I think if they want to get more attention, bring more money into the league, they would have to do like at least one of these every offseason. And that would be like the first starting, like the faceplate people you'd get for it.
Exactly. And Pat Riley would also be bringing the Heat culture to the island. So all of these are awesome picks. Take note, everyone. Take note, Adam Silver. Yeah. What's your last one, Treeman?
Last one, if this is a legitimate one, is I would stop rotating the city jerseys. They are all so bad. Find some jerseys that sell really well and just stick with those. Like at least extend this. I think it's either MLB or NHL where teams only a certain small set of teams are allowed to rotate their fourth jersey for the year. The others have to keep it for a few years. You'll get your turn every few years to swap out your city jersey. So I think they need to do that to stop just putting so many vomit jerseys onto the market that people don't care about. I don't know what the sales stats are, but I cannot imagine they are good because most of them are terrible.
Adam Silver, sorry, we just have to call it how it is. This is a moronic move. Why? What industry moves off of the most preferred product?
The Miami Vice jerseys, the Jazz Southern Utah jerseys, the Bulls have had, there's so many incredible jerseys that teams could stick with and just, make a brand out of, but now they're just forced to move on, so.
Yeah, it's just constantly trying to fix what's not broken, so. All right, well, we will look forward to seeing these. We'll give a little bit of leeway. We will see at least two of these three things enacted a year and a half from now, so I'm glad that we could contribute this, but with that, Treeman, is there anything else to say, or should we sign off and tune back in for everyone soon enough?
I'm good to sign off. I'm excited for another episode soon, and we'll catch you guys in a little bit.
Elkman, out.